Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. Another international break is over and Celtic are finally back. And we've got a big announcement before we get into the build-up for tomorrow's game at Tynecastle. We have a new sponsor. This video is brought to you by William Hill, Celtic's official betting partner. I'm sure you've seen their kiosks around Celtic Park on match days. They have teamed up with Celtic Fans TV, and throughout this season they're going to be giving away some great prizes, including signed shirts, match day tickets and much more to you, the Celtic Fans TV audience. So you'll have to be subscribed to get involved in those giveaways, and make sure to stay tuned to the starting 11 prediction every week to get involved and be in with a chance of winning. Now then, we can return from the international break tomorrow, and as I say, it's a big game away at Tynecastle. A lot of positivity though, I think, for some of the players off the back of international break. Likes of Kyogo and Hatate getting minutes for Japan. Kyogo scoring against Tunisia on Tuesday. Liam Scales got his first senior start for Ireland. Mikey Johnson got a goal for Ireland. Gustav Lagerbielke got his first international goal for Sweden. Matt O'Reilly got his first call-up to the senior squad for Denmark. So lots of positivity for those guys. I think that'll put a spring in their step coming back to club duty. But as I say, a huge game for us tomorrow. Always a great fixture. Hearts away, and looking forward to it, even with the reduced band of Celtic supporters in the away end at Tynecastle tomorrow. Hearts come into the game sitting fourth in the table. They didn't have a good start to the season at all, but they have recovered that a bit, some better results, and they've managed to move up to fourth. I seen the Edinburgh Derby where they were 2-0 up and got pegged back to 2-2. I think they're maybe not quite at the levels they've been at in the past couple of seasons. I know Stephen Naismith is there in charge now. Be good to get one over on him tomorrow, but there's no doubt they've got better since their bad start to the season. But we are playing very well, and I think we've got to keep that momentum up that we had before the international break. That last block of fixtures with a 100% domestic record, we've got to keep that up. We've got to keep that consistency up. That is the thing that wins you league titles. You've got to go through the season and just chalk off the games and pick up as many wins as possible. We've been brilliant at that, particularly in the last two seasons. The consistency of the team has been remarkable, and we've started off this season in that vein as well, and we've got to continue that. We've got really big games coming up in this block, October, November, before the November international break. Tynecastle, Atletico Madrid at home, then Easter Road next week, then St Mirren at home in the league, then we're away to Ross County before we go away to Madrid in the Champions League, and I think we finish this block of fixtures at home against Aberdeen. So a lot of big games coming up, big domestic games. These two away games in Edinburgh over the next 7 or 8 days are absolutely huge for us. Sandwiched in between as a Champions League game. That makes it very difficult for the players, but so far this season we've gone to all the big venues, the Pittodries, the Ibrox. We've done well, we've came out with victories, and I think the performance level is getting better as we go through the season, but we've got to make sure we come out of these games with maximum points like we did in that last block of fixtures. Okay, so we'll get to the team then, and we'll start in goals as we always do with Joe Hart. I think Alistair Johnston will play it right back. I expect the centre-half pairing to stay the same as it was last time out. I think Carter Vickers will play alongside Liam Scales. I know that Mike Nawrocki is back in training, back available. I think he'll probably make the squad. I just think that Brendan Rodgers' comments on Liam Scales, how he's performed in the games that he's had due to this injury crisis, means that he'll keep his position tomorrow. I'm not saying he'll keep it indefinitely. The thing about playing for Celtic is you need to keep your levels high because there's competition, and I think Nawrocki is probably a better defender. We've signed him for a lot of money as well. We've got lots of options at centre half, actually, going from so many players being out injured. Welsh is only a couple of weeks away, so we're back to a situation where a fully fit squad in 3 or 4 weeks, where Carter Vickers, Lagerbielke, Nawrocki, Welsh, Scales, all of a sudden Brendan Rodgers will get lots of options in that position again. So it's going to be up to Scales to perform to a high level in order to keep his position. But that's the way it should be playing for Celtic. Greg Taylor at left back did get a start for Scotland, albeit it was in the France friendly. You wait a while for a start for Scotland and then you get it against France away. But that'll do his confidence the world of good, even though that sounds ridiculous because Scotland get beat 4-1. But good for him to get a run out at that level. Good for him to get a look at Griezmann a week before he'll face him again in the Champions League. In the midfield, Callum McGregor, who was rested against France in that same game, which is good for us because he plays so much football, Callum McGregor. I think any rests he can get, we'll certainly take them. Hatate and O'Reilly in front of the captain. I think O'Reilly should be fully confident after getting that call up, albeit no minutes, but I think that's credit for how well he's done this season. He's really got back to those levels we thought we were going to see from him after that first 6 months at the club. A bit of a slower campaign last time out, but real quality, and he's been excellent this season. He's adding goals to his game. He's arriving in the box at the right time. I think Rodgers will help him as well, help develop his game. And it's a fella in his cap to get called up by Denmark. His confidence should be high and hopefully he can continue his great form. Hatate likewise, he is one who's struggled to really get any minutes for Japan despite his good form since arriving at Celtic. So minutes off the bench in the first game, start in the second game, that should do his confidence the world of good as well. There should be a spring in his step, and remember, but he's just off the back of that excellent man of the match performance he had against Kilmarnock before the international break. Hopefully, I've said it a couple of times already this season, hopefully Hatate can really hit a run of form now. He was excellent against Kilmarnock, and he'll really help us going through this tough period, particularly in these away games, if he can keep his level as high as it was in that game. Front three, decisions to be made, I suppose. I'm going to go Dyson Maeda on the right-hand side, Lewis Palma on the left, and Kyogo through the middle. Dyson Maeda didn't travel with Japan because he had a knock, but he's trained for most of the last week and a half, according to Brendan Rodgers. So I fully expect him to start in this game. I've put Palma in, even though he's been away with Honduras and it's a lot of travelling. I think he performed well, though. He performed well against Kilmarnock, and I think he's looked bright and promising in his recent games for Celtic. I think, as I say, he seems like the natural first choice right now while Abad is out. Yang hasn't convinced. Forrest's at that stage of his career where he's not going to play week in and week out. And I think Palma is the natural first choice there. I think, as I say, his form is getting better the more game time that he's getting in a Celtic jersey. And I think tomorrow, maybe if we can only get 60 minutes out of him because of the travelling he's done during the break, I think we still have to start with him because I wouldn't be confident a game like Tynecastle starting a player like Yang who can sometimes turn it over really easily. We don't need to give Hearts any encouragement in a game, and I'd like to see Palma build on those good performances that he's had in his last couple of outings. Kyogo through the middle, good record against Hearts, very good record against Hearts. I think the last time at Tynecastle he scored that brilliant back heel. In fact that was the Scottish Cup game. He scored the back heel. He did get a goal, a lovely near post finish in the game that clinched the league title last season. So he's got a great record home and away against Hearts. Hopefully he can continue that tomorrow again. He's another one, as I said at the start of the video, confidence should be really high. Getting a goal for Japan, he's another one that for us it seems like we can't understand why he doesn't play more often and start more often for Japan. I know they've got good players, but to get a start against Tunisia and get a goal will really help his confidence. And he's in great goal scoring form this season for Celtic again, so hopefully he can add to that tomorrow. There's no doubt that we'll need to play at a real intensity, a real speed. As I say, in an atmosphere like Tynecastle, you can't give Hearts encouragement. We can't play at a slow tempo. We've got to be right at it. And if we are, and we play to the level we've been playing to, I expect us to come away with a big 3 points. In terms of score prediction, I'm going to go for a hard-fought 2-1 victory. That is 7-1 with William Hill. If you want to check out all the odds for the game, you can click the link in the description below that will take you there. Please remember, gamble responsibly, and stay tuned for the William Hill giveaways that we've got coming up in the next few weeks. That's the team I think Brendan Rodgers will go with. You can let me know who you think he'll pick in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you tomorrow in Edinburgh at Tynecastle. Thank you.